Christian World News, I'm Wendy Griffith. President Trump is threatening to send the U.S. military to Nigeria to stop the slaughter of Christians. Islamic terror groups have targeted Christian communities there for decades. Nigeria's government says it welcomes help in the fight against terrorists under certain conditions.
After first denying the problem, the Nigerian government now says it would welcome U.S. help in fighting Muslim insurgents killing Christians, as long as its territorial integrity is respected. This after President Trump warned on Truth Social the U.S. military stands prepared to go into Nigeria guns a-blazing, claiming the country's government is allowing Christians to be slaughtered, and adding the Nigerian government better move fast.
On Nigeria, just wanted to ask you, do you envisage U.S. boots on the ground?
Could be. I mean, a lot of things I envisage, a lot of things. They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that part of the world, very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen.
Estimates of the number of Christians killed in Nigeria from Muslim extremist groups and sectarian violence since 2009 are in the tens of thousands. Some claim it exceeds 100,000. Nigeria is split nearly equally between Muslims and Christians, but over the last decade, the violent terror group Boko Haram and other extremists have increased attacks in northern Nigeria. Nigerian broadcaster and political commentator Cyril Abaku said if U.S. involvement makes Nigeria safer, Nigerians would welcome it.
We are at a level where terrorism is now a global problem, and our communities don't feel safe. And so if we have support from outside coming to say, we want to work with you to help stem the tide, I think we should buy it. This is something that we should welcome, frankly.
President Trump also declared Nigeria a country of particular concern, opening the door for State Department sanctions. Sunday, churches around the world took part in the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church. Ryan Brown of Open Doors U.S. says prayer is the most important thing the church can do for Nigerian Christians.
Our brothers and sisters, the thing that they have most asked for is to know that they are not alone. When the international body of Christ can come alongside on a day like the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church, that sends a strong, strong message to our brothers and sisters to let them know they are not free.
Killing, burning.
Friday night, I was leaving my house. See my house there. I come here, they shoot gun. Later, they come, they break this house. Where my brother, my brother is sleeping here with his children. Thereby, they come, they kill people. They were breaking the house. Say, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
These first-hand accounts gathered by Truth Nigeria journalists describe the ongoing atrocities in a terror campaign to eradicate Nigeria's Christians. Judge Saul, filmmaker and missionary, the organizer of Equipping the Persecuted, highlighted this documentary as a way to sound the alarm.
We need to fight this thing threefold. One, America as a government needs to get involved with a very little. I'm talking very little of our resources. If we just did the very little bit of push an aggressive foreign policy, throw some sanctions, whatever it takes, I think we can put a significant dent in this and put a stop to this.
U.S. Representative Chris Smith of New Jersey, who has traveled to many dangerous areas in Nigeria, has introduced a resolution in Congress to help stop attacks fueled by religious hatred.
There has been an exponential increase in attacks on Christians and some Muslims, but Christians in particular. Protestants, evangelicals, Catholics, they're firebombing their churches. The Fulani are killing them with absolute impunity. We've called on the government in Abuja and the president several times to do what governments do, law enforcement, use the military if you have to, but stop this genocide and do it now.
The resolution points to Nigeria's government's apparent open border policy that allows almost free access to the country. Fulani militants and ISIS-linked extremist groups from neighboring countries take advantage of this policy to carry out mass murder, rape, and kidnappings.
We're also calling on President Trump to reissue, which he did in his first term, the designation of country of particular concern, and that then gives the president wide latitude to impose sanctions. It's an excellent bill when it's used properly. It gets the attention of all the policymakers, in this case in Abuja. It says, we're not kidding.
During a White House press briefing, I asked Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt about the crisis in Nigeria. And do you know if there's any action that the president will take?
I'm not tracking a call between the president and the head of Nigeria. I know the president wholeheartedly condemns the persecution of Christians or, frankly, of people of any faith all over the world, but I don't have...
From my own perspective is that we have to really look at our internal assets properly and reorganize ourselves. First and foremost, by stop denying the obvious. Because the issue of genocide has been established by the US. If Nigeria refused to do so, they have done their fact-finding and have established. In fact, just yesterday, a resolution was passed in the Congress that they condemn what Nigeria is doing. And at the same time, they also supported what Donald Trump has done for designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. So in this case, we have a responsibility to reorganize ourselves, accept these our weaknesses, accept also the weaknesses that is happening within our intelligence and security architecture, and then work jointly, responsibly with the United States government to see that we take ownership of the issue and then take the driver's seat to fix the problem. But the situation whereby we kept denying the obvious, it is only going to exacerbate the situation that may go beyond our control. And if you check, we have international assets. Like even within the government, we have one big boy opinion that we don't amplify. And that's that of the Senate President. The Senate President was vehemently against the situation. If you notice, he was consistently saying we don't want to infuriate Donald Trump further. Yeah, it makes sense.
And his deputy said, what do you mean?
So look at the deputy. The response of the deputy was reckless. You can't have America on your tail. Nobody wants America as an enemy. Even the superpowers like the China and the Russia, they don't want America as an enemy. So we don't need to attract the wrath of the superpower. So what we need to do is to conciliate them. We avoid this confrontational approach by leveraging on collaborative approach to see that we bring the end of this issue.
Adamu, how do you come in on the question of negotiation? It seems that we have to really speak to Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, the NSA, to rethink this idea of negotiating. I know that his office has denied, paying ransom and all of that, but there is a very strong buzz in this town and across this country that those bandits are being treated with kid gloves. So what's your take?
You see, the problem is the factor of negotiation, or I can say the non-kinetic approach, has been on, I think, since 2016, with the former President Muhammadu Buhari, when he started in the northeast after the decimated Boko Haram, some of the so-called repentant Boko Harams,
the
radicalization, some DDRRR policy, that's what they call it. So they started doing this kind of policy to see that they have accepted and then assimilated them into the society. But then we need to look at the dynamics. Is it really successful? Does it really deliver the right result? Now, in a case where you have irregular, unconventional warfare, non-kinetic approach is a part, but non-kinetic approach only comes to play when you diminish the terror to the level whereby the threats is not against the national security. But when you look at the direction and the empowerment that these terrorists are getting, as highlighted by Dr. David Okoro, we started from northeast, we moved to north central, northwest, now we're moving to the south. Kwara is already on the... So when you look at this, you see a full-scale insurgency. So when you have a full-scale insurgency, now you need to look at the underlying factor driving this insurgency. Yes, there are some social issues associated with this, but these social issues has been built over time. Now there are so many children that were young when this insurgency starts, and now they have grown so mature that the only thing they know is this killing. So how do you expect to conciliate these ones to accept a normal society when they grow in a society where it's only bombs that guarantee their safety? So what you do is you have to deploy the massive amount of forces to diminish them significantly that it has gone to the point whereby it is not a threat to national security. As I'm talking to you now, we are even moving away from national security to regime security.
Wow.
And that's a very serious threat. You know, so what we do is that we have to push back into the national security, diminish them from where they are. Then the small patches that remain, that are willingly express the need for true repentance and also wanting to really join the society, then you assimilate them. And even the assimilation is a whole lot of program. You can't assimilate someone in the society that radicalizing. Maybe you have to find another program where you show them to another place to, you know, just disrupt their own chains.
Right.
But as it is now, you keep conciliating them. You sometimes even blame the office of the National Security Advisor, but then you look at state governors too. There are so many state governors that came out and said that we call these bandits and we negotiate with them. You see a state governor sitting in the same place, or some state official sitting in the same place with the bandits carrying weapons in the name of negotiation. What are you negotiating with somebody who has guns and he is willing to come and kill you? So this is a very serious problem. And then you give them money in the name of trying to conciliate them. And these are the monies they use to get emboldened to come back and kill more. In a proverbial case where you have Vikings in the 10th century, where the kings of Wessex seems to partner with them, he keep giving them what they need, they get emboldened until they come and overrun the entire English kingdom. So this is exactly the situation we are facing now. So we need to really, really allow the military to do their job, since it has now become a full-scale insurgency.
Okay, I want to put a question on the table for both of you as we conclude this conversation. There's a video that has gone viral, you know, of Ajia Najatu Ahmed, who said that he had a conversation with the president, and the president said that, well, I don't have a plan for the North problem, because, you know, they may even kill me. Now, that insinuates, we've not had a response from the villa. I don't know whether it's necessary, you know, but that insinuates that the president is afraid. How do you read the body language of this president when it comes to courage, you know, and how much of it have we seen in the way that is handling this matter, or how much of it should we see? Adamu Gaba, quickly.
One good thing again is that our military have very good experience of fighting in the Sahel, more than the US military. That is why when they came to Liberia, they couldn't do it. They have to invite Nigerian military to help them. Similarly, in Sierra Leone, they have to invite Nigerian military to help them. So Nigerian military is actually very efficient in fighting, but then we need tactical and intelligence support so that we can deal.
But do you think the president has enough courage?
Yes, I think the president have enough.
Do they have an option?